Thank you for joining us. Yeah. What I would like to start off with, I would just love to hear where this all began for you. When did the word Power Rangers blip in your radar?
Oh, man. I tell you, let me sit down. Let's sit down.
Because this is a story.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So when I was, I'm just kidding. Power Rangers, when I was 18, a show called Phantoms that came up, and I got the role. That's kind of a long story, but in a nutshell, I wanted to be represented by an agency, so I came in with long hair, earrings, and they pretty much looked at me and said, hey, you need to clean yourself up. You know, you're never going to be an actor like that. So I went, cut my hair, took my earrings out, came back to the agency and said, hey, I cut my hair, I'm good to go. And they said, no, we can't represent you right now. And I said, no, I cut my hair, I took my earrings out. No, we're booking a Coca-Cola commercial. So I was kind of like, okay, look, I did all this stuff. I need something. And so they frantically searched around, picked up a paper called Phantoms, and said, okay, we're not representing you. Here's you can go ahead and do this audition. And I did, and I got the role. And that's pretty much, and then I grew my hair back. And then I put my earrings back. That was one of those things where I think you have to be you. People, you know what I mean? Like, don't let people tell you what to be. Because we always try to clean our image up, or, we're trying to be someone that we're really not, and we're living that life with a mask on. And that's why I started writing all my poetry stuff. I know it's like poetry. It's tough to write your feelings down. And I have a thing called mask, which means that we don't want to walk around with someone that you're not. Inside, not on the outside. I mean, you guys, some cosplaying, I know that's, you're looking good. Anyway,
hey, Hellboy.
Be the true you. I guess, because I would imagine, and I don't know much, but I would imagine if someone forced you to do this job, you wouldn't be as passionate and happy as you are now. Backstage, you're ready to go. You got, you're not just, it's not just a drag, even though sometimes we
gotta be on stage with a celebrity.
Yeah, but you.
So what do you do?
Sometimes people don't find the passion in the little things that we do, and we have to be passionate. Obviously, you're passionate about what you do. Don't know if you do this as a full-time job.
It's a career. I have a day job.
Yeah.
I help the monsters that the monsters laugh for at Disney World.
Yeah. Well, see, but that's the point, is that we always have a day job, but we always got to have our passion job, and our passion job could lead into your main job. You might not have time for your other job, even though you love it. So if you follow passion, then that's what will happen, and that's what happened on Power Rangers. I was young. I got the role. I remember coming up to the set, and this reminds me a lot of it because all the lights are super bright, so it's hard to see people. And I came in, and it was all set up like as a command center. So we had this, and we had the command center, and I was looking into these bright lights and big green screen, and they said, okay, that's where Zordon is. And I was like, who? Okay, all right. They're like, oh, he's a big floating head that you're all talking to. So we didn't see this footage before. So we're talking to a green screen, like an empty screen where they put the head on. So I'm like, Zordon, we're talking. And I remember going to set, and I was thinking, man, bright lights. And then you got all these people, and they're like, action. And you got the camera. So you had to get used to that. But that was my first day. It's like coming on stage and performing, and you're like, hi. So I was like, a real martial artist going into Hollywood. Karate is not typical. When you're throwing a straight punch, bam, that's a straight punch. But in Hollywood, you need this punch to sell, because you won't see this. So you do this punch and this reaction, it looks cool. Television, if you did it real, it would just be like getting hit. So everything has to be exaggerated. Even like in theater, if it, in the Power Ranger suits, how they were like so animated, that's animated because, yeah, all right, let's do it. If I just said anything and the Power Ranger suits weren't matching, it would be boring. Just imagine a Power Ranger suit. All right, guys, yeah, let's do it. Ready. So you have to put movement in it so people can get hooked on it. And then so no one really believed in Power Rangers, and then it became like a name around the world. And of course, Japan had their seasons, but it became this big brand because of all the fans. It wasn't about the people that said we wouldn't make it. It's because all you guys kept the legacy alive. And that's what I'm happy, and I do these shows for. Is this what I'm trying to say? Is this is a hobby for me. These shows, you get something or you don't. I don't care. I don't be paid to be on stage, and I say that proudly, to say I do what I want to do, and this is what I want to do, and this is what I choose to do. I'm not paid to go do something. You want to get something? Cool. If you don't, I don't care. You're my fan. You know what I mean? And I got to take care of my fans. So anyway, it's my hobby job.
As my pastor always says, passion always provides.
Yeah.
You know,
It's crazy you say that too, because shaking hands and seeing people and hugging, all that. I remember, and I was talking about earlier, some people fist bump or they get too tired to hug and all. But man, my pastor at my church never ever got tired of shaking hands. I mean, huge long, and when you shake your hands, he looks at you in your eyes. He's validating what's going on, and that's what I try to do with my fans, is look and communicate, because this world is so quick that we might purposely not be like, hey, what's going on? And then you feel like, but my pastor always shakes hands, and he looks in your eyes, and he's investing his emotional bank account into you, and that's what anyway. So it's funny you say shake hands and passion, because that's what I try to do for all. I might not make everyone happy, but I really, really try.
Well, let's try to make some people happy by taking some questions. What do you say?
Sounds
all right.
good.
I said I'm gonna come on out here. Not bad for a 51-year-old.
Looking good. You're 51?
Yeah.
Are you really? You look so young. I mean, that's not that it's old, because I'm 46, but when you say an age and people go, wow, it's kind of like, what do you mean, wow? Like, what is that? You know what I mean? Are you saying like, wow, you look so young, or wow, you're so old, And all you guys come up to my table and like, well, I used to watch you when, I was a kid. I'm 35, not to make you feel old, but you're old too. What are you talking about? You're 35. You're coming up to my table. Don't try to put yourself in a different category. I'm 46.
Please, boss, step on up. Hey, what's your name?
My name's Maddie.
What do you have for us, Maddie?
So, growing up, I learned that you were my first crush, being honest. But outside of Power Rangers, what's your favorite role been?
My favorite what?
Favorite role?
Role? Oh, like outside the Power Ranger brand?
Yes.
All right, so very passionate about Bloodshot. With Valiant Universe, I know Vin Diesel already filmed the movie. It's coming out February, $80 million movie, but I was there branding that thing before anyone heard what Bloodshot was. So for 3 years, I was this comic book character at Comic-Cons that no one cared about getting a Bloodshot autograph or anything, because it was a Power Ranger. But I loved Bloodshot because it was literally a comic book character that I've never heard of. When I got the role, I don't hear Valiant comics. I collect Marvel. Sorry, DC fans, but I collect Marvel. And then it was DC. So when I got the Bloodshot role, I was really excited, and I never heard of it. And the world will hear of Bloodshot. I get texts all day long. Vin Diesel filmed the movie. The trailer looks awesome. We'll see what happens February, but I was passionate about Bloodshot, and I still am. And no matter what, I was the first, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So,
Right on. Thank you for that.
thank you.
Hey, boss, what's your name?
Ty.
What do you have for us, Ty?
So recently you've had a couple more like gritty kind of Power Rangers trailers come out. I'm just wondering if you have anything else in the works or anything that you know about that's a little bit more mature for some of your fans that have been with you since the beginning.
Yeah, man, this conversation with Saban and having them see the fan base and the Soul of the Dragon and all this stuff. It's just right now Hasbro bought the brand. I love Hasbro, but right now we don't know what's going on. If I was Hasbro, even though they have tons of properties, I would look into like a Netflix type of series. And if the actor is willing to do Lord Drakkon, I would do a Lord Drakkon series and include everybody in the universe. And when I did the trailer on my YouTube, is the JDFFFN, me and Kyle Higgins, we put up our own money for that to film because we believed in it. So we filmed it, and then Saban said, this is great. Everyone else, they're making toys of Lord Drakkon, and I'm the only one that owns the digital rights to it, me and Kyle, and that's on my YouTube channel. It's huge. If Hasbro could just be like, oh, we should have done a Shattered Grid Lord Drakkon series, it would be huge. That's the only thing that makes sense at this point right now, because the second movie, don't know what's going on. They're rebooting the first cast of the big movies. They're no longer the cast members, so now we got to get new casts for the movie. So now you're rebooting a reboot of a reboot. So if I was Hasbro, I would captivate this audience and give you something that's more mature for your age group, but safe and fun for kids to watch too.
Yeah.
PG-13-ish, you don't need to do all the rated R stuff.
Absolutely.
So anyway,
Thank
the
you.
answer is there's nothing. Just cut it short.
Hi, what's your name?
Avi,
Hi.
Hey, Evie, what question do you have for us?
what's your favorite part of being a Power Ranger?
My favorite part of being a Power Ranger is getting a chance to meet you guys. And you know what? I was watching an interview today from Turbo, the movie. Catherine said to me, said, oh, behind the scenes footage. I've never seen that footage my whole entire life. And we go back to, I don't know, 20 years ago. And someone asked me that question. They said, what's your favorite thing about being a Power Ranger? And I answered that. I said, the fans. I said, meeting my fans and meeting people. And it's the same answer for so many years. So for me to actually get a chance to meet you guys is probably the best blessing I have of being an actor out of everything, is meeting you guys. That's just how I feel.
Cool. Thank you.
So the best part is meeting you. That's the answer. Let's cut it short. Meeting you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we can round of applause for Evie. Hey, what's your name?
I'm Aiden.
What do you have for us, Aiden?
My question's not as deep as the other ones. What's your favorite morphing sequence that you've done, or maybe one you haven't done and you've just like seen?
I'm glad you asked that, because we've been talking about that this year. In martial arts, self-defense is the moment you perceive your opponent to draw his sword, all right? When the shoguns back in the day would draw their sword, that means that they were attacking, or they will have to decapitate you. There's no, oops, psych. So the moment you see your opponent to draw his sword, this is what I'm talking about. This is self-defense, as they're hitting you. Self-defense is not, I get hit and then I hit you back. So the moment you see your opponent draw his sword is the moment you attack. Same thing with the morphin sequences. It's morphin time, you attack. Now, morphin, hold on. Wait for it, and attack. So the quickest, most efficient one is this. By the time you have to get all your other stuff, just imagine if you're fighting someone on the street and they're like, hold up, bro. Come on, right? So the easiest one for us is this one on set. And then all the other complex turbo one, we're doing turbo, and I was like, oh, guys, are we really thinking of this morphin suit? Okay, let's just pretend we're driving a car. Turn to the left. And he's like, I like that. That was a joke of me saying, take a car, turn to the left. And they're like, I like it. Then it became the shift into turbo morphing. Literally. That stuff is crazy.
Thank you, boss.
I see stuff now. There's a White Ranger card where I have long hairs down and I'm like this, and I'm in jeans, and I'm in a tan. I'm smiling like this. That shot we shot all day long. The director's like, come on, give me something. All right, let's take one more photo. And I was like, oh my God, this guy's so annoying. Like, come on, one more. And I was like, hey bud, you want me to do this? That became a baseball card. The guy said, that was the best work you done all day. I was like, just trying to be a smart bud. Yeah, that's out there.
Hey, what's your name?
Trevor.
What do you have for us, Trevor?
What's up?
So my question is, which Ranger meant the most to you?
Well, spandex is spandex, my friend. So closing my eyes, it all feels the same, except when you don't have a chest piece and you're like this, right? So I think the first one that meant was probably the green one, because it was like it sometimes when you make a point in life and you want to do something, is you can't do it to prove them wrong. You have to do it to prove yourself right. And so for me, like as an actor, everybody that didn't believe in me, it was one of those things where I didn't want to, I'm going to show you. I had to show myself who I was. And by showing myself who I became and who I was, that was the longest existing Power Ranger there is today, because I believed in who I was and what the project was, not believed in the numbers. I would be here the same if it was just me and you and one person in the room. I teach the same around the world. So that's why the Green Ranger is probably the most important for me, is because it was the first, and it was green. I don't think you guys understand. 26 years ago, the color green is not that cool. When you had a kid that had green shoes in school, you're like, oh, that kid with green shoes, he's so weird, right? You don't see a green car rolling down, now you do. Rick Ross, green Gucci suit, Gucci green this, green that. So green is a cool color. But it is the least, to this day, the least popular car color in the whole entire world was green. So it meant a lot for me because I was different. That's like, yeah, I'm different. Yeah, I'm different. I'm different. Yeah, we didn't have that song back then, but the answer is, let's cut it short. Green.
Thank you. Hey, what's your name?
That was deep, by the way. I don't have a deep question. Everything's deep, my friend. Everything. You ask.
What do you have for us, Nathan?
Well, first off, look at that suit.
Hey, thank
Look at
you.
that suit.
Thank you.
But yeah, I remember back in the day you were on a very special episode of Family Matters.
Yes.
Do you have any memories from that or any other TV show that you've appeared on?
I do, because I don't think people, and we don't talk about Family Matters a lot because it's not brought up, but that guy, I have to go research myself. The guy who was the leader of the Piranha gangs, Rialdo, he was actually in Power Rangers. That guy on Family Matters, the leader, Ronaldo, he was on Power Rangers. So when I went there, I said, oh, man, he was like, did a couple episodes of something. You have to go research it. And so I worked with him, and then I got there, and Jeff Pruitt, I was like, Jeff, man, he does all the coordinating for Power Rangers. So it was like a happy reunion over there, which I didn't think, Warner Brothers called me up for little roles like that. So I was a gangster, I grew my hair out. I was like, yeah, Pirata Gang or whatever. Got beat up by Urkel, So, but at that time, it was like, yeah, Urkel can beat me up. We don't have Instagram, social media, YouTube. Who's ever going to see it? Really? No one's going to see it. But it was a good memory, because over there, they're like, can you do stunts? And I was like, yeah. Can you go through this? And can you flip and hit this? And as you did it, it's like the little ding ding coins you collect, because they almost paid you for everything you did that I would have done for free. It was like, hit this, ching, 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 ching. Okay, cool. Wow, thanks. I would have done it for free, but so it was good. I used to like that show, Family Matters. So to be on it was pretty cool. And he's a good guy in real life too. I don't call him Urkel, but Steve. He's a good guy.
That's cool. Thank you. All right. Speaking of the suits, for a long time you were doing the rock star look, and about 2-3 years ago you switched over to the GQ look. And
yeah.
Either way, man, you sell it.
There's a story for that though. This suit I got in Ireland, but Bruce Campbell's a friend of mine. And, he's a really cool guy. I've worked with him for years. And every time he's like, you need to try to dress up like me. So I'd see Bruce and he'd be like, come on, kid. You got to get a little more color in it. And so I wore a suit in Houston because we're on the show. And then I, check into him sometimes. Like he was my probation officer for dressing. Like, hey, look what I'm wearing. Good job. That plaid's awesome. So I just started dressing up a little bit. And it's unfortunate. But the world does judge you on, you got 5 seconds to make an impression of what you in someone's head. So I'm tatted, I can throw a tank top on and a bandana and a hat, and I will get a different 5-second impression of who I am and what I'm gonna do. And it stinks, but that's how it is. And if I wear suits or anything like that, people either asking like, hey, you work at craft service? Get me a coffee, sure. You security? Uh-huh. Do you own the convention center? Mm-hmm. So they think I'm in charge of everything. So the point is, I can just walk anywhere I want. People don't even need to know. They're like, this guy in a suit, he's important. Works. Free access to every con in the world. You just walk like you know what you're doing. Sir, you got a bat. Don't need one. I'm a man in a suit. It works.
Suit authorized by Bruce Campbell. So
Bruce Campbell, yeah.
May we all have him as our fashion guru.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your name?
My name is Hallie Chambers.
Hi, Hallie. What do you have for us?
Well, it goes without saying that all of us are huge fans of yours. Probably a lot of us grew up with you as Tommy Oliver on Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And probably a lot of people don't know what else you've done, but you've done a lot of other things, and you're a really accomplished martial artist as well. And I know a lot of actors who have had really iconic roles like that have struggled with that being all they're seen for. So I'm wondering if you've ever had any experiences or issues with people just seeing you just as the MMA fighter or just as the Power Ranger, and that affecting your ability to be taken seriously as something else.
But he's wearing a suit.
Well, yeah. But I think here's the answer, which I ask myself that too. Sometimes I think, I do stuff with actors, and I want to embrace this role, that role. I'm thinking, why? Man, it's what I grew up with. But you see, that's because it's their job. And so in acting, sometimes you have to do things to get paid. Like, I love teaching karate. I have very successful Rising Sun karate schools, have an online training program called Train Me JDF. I'm a passionate teacher. I love teaching. God's put me here on a purpose to motivate and to teach. So I have businesses, and I have, you know what I mean? So it's not really my job. So I don't feel like I need to get desperate, or again, I don't feel like I need to get paid to do a Q&A. Everything has a timing. I promise you, everything. Sometimes people go, oh, I'm sorry you didn't get Bloodshot. It's fine. Everything has a timing. So whatever the time is, I've built a huge fan base from passion and from love. And no matter what I'm gonna do and things will continue, my fans will be there because they know I'm real. That's when you know someone's real, is when you're, walking through the creek, and as you're climbing to the mountain, everybody wants to be your friend, but there's a time where you're gonna walk through that valley and that creek again, and you know what I mean? And I don't worry about where I walk because everybody is treated equal. And I meet so many people that are like, you know who I am? Like, oh no, wow, it's great. So, to answer that, I don't think I have anything to run and hide from because I'm pretty proud of what I've done, and I've built the whole JDF brand. When people initialed me, that was very weird. Now it's like, JDF, I'm like, oh, everything's so initialed except Chuck Norris. He will never be the CN. The CN, even Chuck Norris's name, the CN is more powerful than the Cartoon Network. So Chuck will never be CN. He'll always be Chuck Norris, and I guess I'll be JDF.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, young man, what's your name?
Josiah,
Josiah, what do you have for us?
why did you decide to be a Power Ranger for that long?
Well, you know what? It wasn't supposed to be that long. I think it's kind of like I went in there and I just had fun, and the next day was fun, and I didn't worry about money. I didn't worry about any of that. I just had fun. So it's kind of like if I told you, no, I am going to pay for your Comic-Con your whole entire life, and you are going. Okay. Yep. I'm buying you the hotel. I'm making you go. Okay. As long as you're having fun, you just keep doing what you do. And if someone's willing to pay you to go to Comic-Con and buy all your tickets and cosplay for whatever you want, better take it if that's what you like, because you won't find people out there to do that. So in Hollywood, I just enjoyed being an actor, and I just gave passion to what I did, and and it was fun.
Cool. Thank you.
And I could fit in spandex. Let's just cut the why I could
Yeah.
be, because I could still fit in spandex, I guess.
Indeed, indeed. Hey, what's your name?
Randy.
What do you have for us, Randy?
So my question is, I'm not really entirely familiar with the history between you two, but if given the opportunity, would you ever face CM Punk?
He's long scared. You guys really can't even cheer for that. He's super. So I think people don't understand, like in this industry, that's what people want is the hype. There's really not this beef going on unless they want to create the beef, and it's really was just at that time it made sense for me to fight CM Punk. Would I fight CM Punk again? No, because I feel he's already exposed. Like he cannot handle the UFC. He can't. You know what I mean? He fought my friend Mike Jackson, which was a really good friend of mine, and I just don't think he wants to do it anymore. I don't think that's his passion. I don't think, like me saying I want to be an actor and act all the time, I don't think he liked it inside the cage, is my opinion. So would you like it if you were him? Probably not. He can go make millions as something else. Let's cut to the
CM
short
Punk's
chase.
having
Let's
fun.
cut to the short chase. Yes, I would fight him if he wanted to. All right, next. I give long answers. Let's cut it to the chase.
CM Punk's having fun writing comic books.
Yeah.
My question is, who are you supposed to be married to in Super Samurai? Because we all saw that when you had a kid there.
Well, I couldn't tell you guys because, Tommy was like, shh, can't tell him. Don't tell Kimberly and Catherine that,
It's a mystery. Well, hopefully you see revealed someday.
Hopefully. I just don't want to be that guy, like, oh, Tommy, hashtag he's been around time. Okay, yes.
Hi, what's your name?
Pierre.
Pierre, what do you have for us, Pierre?
This is a silly question. Who was a better leader, Tommy or Jason?
There's answers to this. I never wanted to be the leader. It just happened to be the leader. I was happy with Tommy having the girlfriend, like no responsibility, like, hey, if y'all get stepped on by a Megazord, it ain't my fault. I'm not the leader. It's your fault. You could always pass the leadership to someone else and you're like, oh, it's your fault. So then when I took leadership, I was like, everything is my fault. I will accept it. So I think Tommy was, I was fine, Jason leading the team and Tommy being Tommy, but then Tommy became a full-time leader. So it just kind of happened that way. You know what I mean? He's meant to lead, and that's what Tommy did. Meant to grow his hair out too, and I did, and then meant to cut it again. Just glad I still have hair.
Thank you, Pierre.
Thank you.
If I didn't, I'd grow one long ponytail. If I had one spot to grow hair, I would grow one long ponytail. And do a boomerang and just get hits. That's just me. I'm
By the
random.
way, this is a fantastic Mystique cosplay. Give her a round of applause for this. This is really, really well done. Really done. So what's your name?
Danny.
Danny, what do you have for us, Danny?
I just want to say it's an honor to be speaking with you right now.
Thank you.
But I know you have a martial arts background, and I know the rest of the team, Power Rangers team, had like a gymnastics background. Just kind of wondering what it took for training to be a Power Ranger and your biggest stunt, I guess.
Well, I was a national rated competitor at the time when I got offered the role. So for me, I just went in and just pretend that this room was like, you know, a place where I can go and do a kata, and that's basically what I did as a kata, and I won the role. So does gymnastics? No. Like, I don't flip. So Dave and Amy, they were like, okay, listen. I was like, I guess if I have to. I never did the gymnastics, so I did it on the show. But I just loved doing it, and so I learned a little gymnastics, enough for that. But I was when I say real martial artist, you guys understand I owned a school. Like, when I say real, a professional, what makes you a difference between a professional and an amateur is you get paid as a pro. That's what makes you, how many amateur fights? It's the same feeling, guys. It just doesn't go on your record. So for me, I was a pro because I had schools, and that's what I was doing for my life. So it was easy to transitions to Power Ranger, except adding the flips and all that stuff. But everybody did their great job. Everybody had their own role. The show was very interesting. Everyone had their own characters, and then it just kind of like, you know, it's okay, but I loved the beginning roles because everybody had their thing, and that's what we had. But and speaking of cosplay, I just shout out to the cosplayers, though, for real, because everyone who cosplays, you guys make the show very interesting for kids. You know, and I think without a Comic-Con, if everyone cosplayed, it would be so cool. But even though we're not, raise your hand if you're cosplaying. Okay, so these people make it fun. How many times people kids come up to you, oh, wow. So props to you guys and for you for cosplaying, because it makes Comic-Con fun, you know?
Thank you so much.
Here, have a blue one.
Maybe you're not dressed up. Maybe you're not cosplaying.
Yeah. Hey, what's your name?
Adam Anthony.
What do you have for us, Adam Anthony?
Well, I just wanted to say how much I appreciate the brand and how I appreciate your character, because I think a lot of things nowadays, big corporations in a need to basically somehow savor something that we liked as kids, they're trying to sell something to us. And something I always felt growing up as a kid was the passion that you put into the character. And this is not to knock the other Rangers. They did a great job too and all that. But there was always this passion there, and I think it added a sense of believability to essentially that these characters feel human. Like, my parents always thought it was stupid that I watched a show with colorful people in spandex running around fighting stuff, but yeah. I always considered it kind of similar to why we like Spider-Man, because yeah,
Good
basically
Teletubbies.
Yeah. Anyways.
What do you call them? Teletubbies, the color. Yeah. Good thing you said Spider-Man. That's okay. Teletubbies, is that what it is? Teletubbies?
Teletubbies. That's
Tubby what?
Teletubbies.
Whatever.
What
Good thing you said Spider-Man.
But anyways, since I really appreciate it so much, it kind of gave me the idea, would you be willing to, if someone asked you, if, say, they wanted to do something a little more edgier, maybe not make, the Power Rangers edgy themselves, but put them in a situation where, say, I don't know, maybe the bad guys took over the world, and we don't try to turn him into, a Superman, he's so gritty kind of situation, but,
just a darker take.
Yeah, I mean, we did with Shattered Grid. I mean, if people ask, would you? It's would I? Me and Kyle financed the Shattered Grid. Yeah, that's we're forcing that to try to make that. It's we're helping someone try to make money. I don't care about that, but hey, now you're making toys. And so, yeah, we definitely do want to do that. And the reason why your parents probably didn't like Power Rangers is because they had to buy you all the toys and they spent a fortune. They're stupid people running around in colors are costing me a lot of money. And then, let's cut to the short chase. We changed colors so you kids can have more toys. Aw, we're so nice. Saban's cha-ching, 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 more money. Okay, anyway. We ran out of Japanese footage. Let's cut that to the chase. That's why we changed colors. No lie, it's the truth.
Hi, what's your name?
My name's Campbell.
Hi, Campbell. Good to meet you. So, what questions you want to ask?
What's your favorite Megazord?
Favorite Megazord? Like the Dragon Zord? I'd probably have to pick Dragon Zord. I wouldn't have Megas Dragon Zord. He has, look how, Tommy, man, his own Dragon Zord. And his own song. Go Green Ranger. I was so proud of my own song. Anyway, probably a Dragon Zord.
Do you have a favorite?
My favorite's the green Megazord too.
All right, see that? I'll pay you $5 later, kid. Yeah. All right, good job.
There you go. Round of applause for our little Power Ranger cosplayer.
Thank you.
Hello, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Annie, like the orphan.
How are you?
And I am wondering, so I only really connect with the Power Rangers as heroes. I'm more of a villain fan. So I'm very curious what your favorite monster was.
Guys, help me out with that. Eye guy? Okay, now I'm tossed up because now the Eye Guy, the Fawcett Monster, Lord Zed, Ivan Ooze. The reason why I liked Ivan Ooze is because it was Paul Freeman, and he's from Raiders of the Lost Ark, the guy with the, So I was like, oh, I love that movie. He's gonna be an awesome bad guy. And then my brain, he got big shoes on, like this big. I know it's terrible, but he would like walk, and you didn't see his robe, but he was so small, so they had to make him tall. Right, so he'd be like, oh, he walks funny in the movie. Our Power Rangers, because I was like, oh, he's gonna fall right now. Watch, he's gonna fall. And it was like little rocks. You'll see him, and he's like, watch him walk. He'd be like, oh, he's walking because he's almost falling on rocks. But I didn't have YouTube back in the day, so let's cut it to the chase. I like Ivan Ooze, but I like Lord Zed as well. So cool. I probably have to go to Ivan Ooze just because he was gonna fall. I've fallen, and I can't get up. That was before that, I think. That was before Life Alert.
Hey, what's your name?
My name is Lau.
What do you have for us?
So, if you did not make it as the Green Ranger, where would you be?
Okay, my instructor used to teach this to me. Glad you said that. Sir, what if, no, I said, what if, what? Back to your question. Sir, what if what? What if your aunt was your uncle? And I went, don't ask what if no more. So I never asked what if, because what ifs don't exist. What if we weren't here in a Q&A? Where would you be? Waste of time. Let's go next. The what ifs are always catchy. They're like the books that have two endings? Man, those drove me crazy because I pick one and then I have to go and read the other one. And then the Bat in the Sun did the Scorpion White Ranger beatdown and they both won. And I was like, go look, Scorpion beats the White Ranger beats the Scorpion. I was like, what is this? But there's two endings of the story. So what ifs always make me go,
Hey, what's your name?
Travis.
What do you have for us, Travis?
So I've heard you're a bit of a prankster on the set of Power Rangers.
Well,
what's the funniest prank that you pulled on the set of Power Rangers?
Did you hear the Johnny Bosch story? Where we were driving like to...
Oh, yeah, I heard that one.
Yeah, that's probably my best. I mean, because that was like easy to do. We're riding in a van on the way to film. It was like a shuttle van or whatever. And I was like, Johnny, you want to do your own stunts, man? He's like, yeah. I was like, then you should climb out the window, dude. Climb out the window and go around the top and then climb back on the window. The van was driving. He's like, I'm like, yeah, dude, do your own stunts. We're going. We're driving. Car's going fast as we roll the window down. I was like, hurry up, dude. Go out. Climbed out, I topped the car, we're like flying down the road, and then he's going to the other side, and I just rolled the window up, and meanwhile, he's like, the car's going, I'm like, let me in. And they said, what did you do? I was like, Johnny, it's your choice, bud. No one tells you to jump, it's your choice. I just encouraged him. Even though that wasn't a prank, the prank would be, well, yeah, he survived. So, long story short, that was fun. It was really a prank. That was just more influence, so don't do what I do.
Hey, what's your name?
My name is Chris.
What do you have for us, Chris?
So when you did all of your action sequences, you did like Sikaya, like all that sort of stuff. Was that actually you, or was that scripted? Because I know it's kind of became a funny thing right? On like MMPR Toys. He makes fun of that whenever he introduces your characters or toys.
Here's the thing. You know someone is educated in karate when they don't do a word called ki, because that's called a ki, and you don't say the word ki. So a ki comes from the bottom of your stomach, and a ki is used for tighten up your stomach. Also, scare your opponent away. It's a ki, so it's internal. So it's not from your lungs. So every time I'd see someone go ki, I'm like, oh Lord, like this guy obviously does not train. So for me, a ki was not time training, meaning you go to karate and you sit and you do a tournament and someone comes up and on the third punch they want you to ki, so they go, Dad! Dad! I told my students, don't do that, please. Y'all scare me. So you can put anything you want into your, because it's made, if you're someone grabbing you, are you gonna go, Ki! Right? You're gonna be like, so the came from the bottom of your stomach. It's a ki, not ki. So it became a thing because people weren't trained. That's the problem. So a ki, when you say a word ki, you a warrior yell on the bottom of your stomach, not your lungs. Ki! When I tell kids punch, they're like, yes, It's like, shh, do this. Right in the bottom of your stomach. Like, oh. So we teach my kids, and besides, you look more mean, right? Scare your opponent, man.
Cool, thank
Good
you.
cosplay too. Bulk and Skull, you look amazing.
Hey, what's your name?
Alex.
That's stuck in my head.
So my question is, what was it like when you first came back for Dino Thunder? Did Disney come to you about it, or was it something you were personally seeking out to rejoin the show?
Disney, you sound like Narvi too. Yeah, you sound like Skull too. They desperately reached out to me. The ratings were going down, man. Disney had it, and you go watch. Even though like, no, Disney this, Disney that. The ratings were going down. They were just, and so they called, said, let's bring Jason back. Doug Sloan and Nat were friends of mine, so I decided to come back. I don't know Disney though. So when I met with Disney, they're like, yeah, and I was doing them a favor. Because I was like, yeah, I'll come back, okay. Like, I got schools. And then they're like, well, you know, you need to audition. I said, audition for what? Audition for Tommy? Wait, sir, come on. That's the lamest thing I ever heard was to audition for a character that I created. Okay, well, and so they're like, well, we bring you back. And then it worked out on my schedule, and I did. But I was there to help the ratings. And when I did Dino Thunder, no interviews. No interviews at all. People were like, oh, that show's still on? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, oh, it's too bad you're still doing that show. It's like, I believed in it back then when the ratings were even dropping. I tried to save them, and I continue, and I always will bless the Power Ranger brand. You know, they just need to do something for this age group, which maybe they will sometime.
Thank you.
Don't forget my YouTube channel, JDFFFN. Yes?
Hey, what's your name?
Katie,
What do you have for us, Katie?
what is your least favorite Power Ranger character?
Oh, everyone's like, oh, man, I wouldn't say the least, but Turbo got lost a little bit. I think because I switched powers and the switch of being a different Ranger, it kind of lost a little bit people. But I mean, I love them all. But Turbo, I did the movie. I did the least. Let's just break it down. Turbo. Let's just cut the long story short. But it's okay, though. I mean, I like it. Yeah, I already said it.
Hey, what's your name?
Weiler.
What do you have for us, Weiler?
So I was wondering if there was any season of Power Rangers that you would have loved to have been a part of, and also if you would ever consider going back to doing just one more full season of Power Rangers.
Man, I've tried to. I think the only thing that makes sense now, the only thing that makes sense is the Lord Draken show. Not even a Green Ranger series, not a White Ranger, a Lord Draken series. If you don't know the comic book, you can read them. I think it's a great storyline. But yeah, at this point, I have ADD. Y'all coming to a different panel or something? Stampede in the Gorge. Simba's down there. Oh, you know what? I used to say that all the time. And Jenna's 15, and I'd say it all the time. Like like, Stampede in the Gorge. I said it all the time. And finally, she saw the movie, and she was like, that's a real line? I said, yeah, Jenna, I've been saying that for years. So she's like, Lion King? I'm like, you've never seen the Lion King cartoon? Oh, my gosh. So anyway, kids, come on. Whoever came up with the Smurfs TV show, imagine pitching that, like in a studio, or SpongeBob. So I got this idea, right? It's like a sponge and like a pineapple lives sold. That's what they said about Power Rangers. I got this weird thing, Zordon, sold. Now it became a thing.
Cool, thank you. Hi, what's your name?
Vivian.
Vivian. Well, Vivian, you're going to be
Pikachu,
our last
dude.
question, so
Pikachu.
follow me.
He said, what's your name? It's Pikachu. What do you mean?
Pika, Pika, Pika? Okay. Everybody say hello to Vivian. All right, Vivian, you
Hey.
are our last question, so...
Give me 5.
Right on. So, Vivian, what do you want to ask?
What's your favorite bad guy and your least favorite bad guy?
Favorite bad guy, I would probably say, I said my Lord Zed, I think is cool. Ivan Ooze is great. Least favorite, It's probably an episode that I wasn't in. Pudgy the Pig. Was I in the Pudgy the Pig one? I wasn't. Oh, well, I wasn't in the episode. Was I? No. Anyway, do you know the number one fear in America? The number one fear in America around the world is public speaking. Do you know how hard it is for someone to come up here and stand here? And she did it with no hesitation at all. So give her a big hand because you did awesome. High five. Bam.
All right. So, Jason, I had a question. What social media outlets can I follow you on? And do you have any upcoming projects that you're allowed to tell us about?
Well, the social media, the Instagram is JDFFFN. That's my social media. I am doing, like I said, some poetry stuff. I don't know. I think you got another panel. We don't have time. We have 2 minutes. No.
We got time.
Okay. So I just want the people that are coming in and like, who's
No,
this
we got
guy?
5. We got
Okay.
5 minutes. Yeah.
So I started writing poetry stuff, and it's really like, going deep into your own head of who you are and what you do. So the mask is something about not, like I told you before, not, who I am. It's who you are inside. So I wrote this thing called Mask, and it's not about what you do in life. It's about your feelings. It's about, are you wearing your mask in, I don't know, maybe a relationship? Are you wearing your mask in something that you don't want to do anymore? Are you walking around not being 100% you? I wrote this thing called Mask. I got a lot of YouTube stuff. It's JDFFFN. This stuff I produce cost me money because I want to get a message to you. It's not about a financial gain. Go to my Instagram. I get nothing for that. I just want to change lives. And now that I'm older, and you guys are older now, maybe some of these poems can kind of challenge you a little bit to sit there and say, what is the mask I'm wearing? It has nothing to do with being an actor. It's the mask of being vulnerable, whatever it is. And this is just a 2-minute poem, okay? And I have a lot of other stuff coming up, but like I said, I just want you to think about, it's just a challenge. We're not going to talk about it. You're going to watch the mask and quietly in your own head, think about the challenges that you have to overcome. Where are you hiding the masks? No matter where it's at. And so I just want to show you this poem, and then I'm done afterwards. I'll be at the table all day. But it sounds like I'm going to tip your waiters and waitresses. I'll be here all night. But if you just maybe roll the mask, if you don't mind. Yeah. If we
Our
have
tech
it.
team.
Yeah, and just that's it. After you watch it, don't say anything. Well, you can if you want. This is a story of a mask we all wear in life. It's becoming so hard. But I can't lose the fight. You start to wonder, and then you begin to ask, is this me? Or is it just a mask? When you start to think, your mind goes blank. It's like you're staring at a ghost. That reflection is blank. I'm defeated as I stare in the mirror. I close my eyes and my body, it's shaking in fear. Oh, please, God, don't let this be. I open my eyes. I realize it's still me. I grab my face and I try to remove it. I know this ain't me, but I gotta prove it. I yell out loud, it's just a mask. I'm tugging, I'm pulling. This becomes a task. My heart starts to race and skipping beats. I'm like a little kid who's stomping his feet. This is it. I have a grip. I see it's ripping. It's starting to hurt. I even felt it. But it won't come off because it is melted. I shake my head and plead this is wrong. I'm teaching you all. Don't wear it for so long. Okay, so that was Mask. So the challenge for you guys, which is the challenge for you, is where is your mask in life? What do you? Oh, that was Cold Creek Productions, by the way. That's what it's playing. Great production company. We're doing a movie with Johnny Young Bosch. That's what I was gonna tell you. In January, me and Johnny Young Bosch are filming a movie with Cold Creek Productions, action film called Click Boom. It's gonna be amazing. But my thing for you guys, and then I'll let you go because we've got another panel. What are you wearing in your mask? What's holding you back? And sometimes being vulnerable and looking in the mirror and understanding who you are and understanding yourself, where is that mask being held? Because we all have a mask. And so you have to sometimes remove it in order to grow, right? So anyway.